Hello grade 10s, welcome again to one of my videos that I'm just going to quickly go through the chapter on trigonometry. So today I just want to quickly explain how you can find trig ratios using your calculator. Okay, the calculator that I'm going to be using for this lesson is this one, the Casio FX82ZA Plus. You can get this calculator from any of your major retailers in South Africa. Yeah, just a disclaimer, I'm not being paid anything by Casio or by any retailer, and yeah, I'm not doing any advertisement for them. But however, I'm just recommending this calculator because that's the one that I'm going to be using in all my lessons right up to grade 12. I prefer this calculator because it's so easy to use and it's so understandable. But there are other great calculators that you can use out there, but this is the one that I really recommend. Okay, so now let's get into it. So the sine, cosine and tangent ratio can be calculated with the use of a calculator in degree mode. Okay, so if you're using the specific calculator and you switch it on, you must have D here. It must be in degree mode, which means you must have D over here. Okay, otherwise if it's in any other mode, it's going to give you wrong answers. Alright, you must always check for that. Okay, if it's not and you need to check it, I'm sure everything is in the manual of this calculator. You should be able to follow the manual. Alright, so now if we think about the triangles that we use to discover sine, cos and tan, we found that the cos of 60, which is the adjacent of a hypotenuse. Now when you're calculating the trigonometric ratio, you don't really need to have the triangle with you. Okay, what it just means is that for any angle 60 degrees, if you take whatever the adjacent is over whatever the hypotenuse is, the answer will always give you 0.5 degrees. Okay, what basically we're trying to say is if you've got a very small triangle like this, and this is 60 degrees, you find your cos, and maybe you have another bigger triangle like that, and then this is also 60 degrees. That means the adjacent over the hypotenuse must give you the same as that. Okay, yeah, because it means those two triangles are similar. Okay, remember similarity from Euclidean geometry, but we're not gonna get worried too much about that. What we are going to focus on is how do we get these trig ratios. So how do I get the cos of 60, for example? So in this calculator, which is much easier to use, you can just type in cos, type in 60. Okay, with this specific calculator, you have to close the bracket. And this calculator is going to tell you that this is a half. Okay, a half and 0.5 is the same thing. So that's what you're going to be doing with all the other trig ratios. Now when you get so many decimals, the recommended number of decimal places that you should have for a trig ratio is 3. Okay, but sometimes the instruction can say give it in 2 decimal places. You must just follow the instruction in that case. Alright, so for example, if we have cos of 35 there, okay, so if we have cos of 35 degrees, I'm just going to take my calculator, calculate the cos of 35, close the bracket. Okay, now that's quite a big number, so I must round that off to 3 decimal places. 819, this is the 1, it's a small number, so I keep the 9, so it's 0.819. all right, okay, so there's tan also, there's sine also on your calculator, so just do this quickly as an exercise. All right, okay, now what happens when you've got 5 cos 60? In this calculator, it's so easy to do because you're just going to type 5 cos 60 close the bracket, and there's the answer, 5/2. Okay, if it's wanted as a decimal, just convert it from fraction to decimal, and it's 2,5. So that's the answer. Okay, so for part C, 5 cos 60 degrees is equal to 2,5. Okay, now let's say you got something a little bit more complicated than this. The reason why I recommend this calculator is because you can just do the fraction with this button, then just press sine 12, close the bracket, over 12 equals, okay, so 10173. 3 is a small number, so I can just write that. So for part H, sine of 12 over 12 must just give you 0,017. Okay, so basically that's what you're just going to be doing. Okay, if you have something like K here, all right, so K is sine 35 degrees plus 75 degrees. Okay, all right, they say it's 0,94 here. Let's check and let's see if that is the right answer. Okay, so I'm just going to take my calculator, type in sine, open bracket, so you can just write the 35 plus the 75 inside the bracket, close the bracket, 0,939. Okay, so 9 is a big number, so that means this 3 rounds up to a 4, so it's 0,94. Okay, so that is the correct answer. All right, so that is how you just use your calculator. Okay, now suppose here we told that A is 23,8, B is 18,1, and we're supposed to calculate and round off our answers to one decimal place. All right, so sine A plus B, this is the sine of, okay, we told A is 23,8, so we write that. B is 18,1, so we write that. And you just take out your calculator. Sine of 23,8 plus 18,1, close the bracket, and okay, we must round this off. 6, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so this 8 is a big number, so 7 rounds up to an 8, so this is 0,668. 10 to B. Well, what is B? Well, B is 18,1, so this just becomes the 10 of 2 times 18,1 degrees. So you're just going to take out your calculator. 10, 2 times 18.1, close the bracket, 0.7318. Okay, so that rounds up, so it's 0,732. Now, very important notation that you need to know for your trigonometric ratios. When we say cos squared or sine squared or tan squared, basically what that means is that this is cos of 2a minus 10 degrees, and then when you find that, you square that whole thing. So that is the standard notation of writing squares or cubes or whatever when you're dealing with trigonometric ratios. Okay, so cos squared of that means cos of that, and then you square it. That's the notation that should be used. So if we're just going to calculate it, it's going to be cos of 2a, so that means 2 times 23,8 minus 10, close the bracket, close that big bracket, and square that. That is why I recommend this calculator, because this calculator can just do the calculation once and for all. So you just open your bracket, cos, it opens the bracket already, 2 times 23,8 minus 10, close that bracket, and then square that. Okay, 0.6277. Okay, so that rounds up, it's 0,628. No degrees. Okay, So basically that's how you calculate your trig ratios using your calculator. There's some exercises on page 5 in your in your module notes. Please do that exercise. It's very simple, and if you can, send the answers to me via WhatsApp, or you can upload them on your Google Classroom. And thank you for watching.